Chiefs fans, we continue our AFC Championship sub-battle between the Chiefs Report and Bills Breakdown. Tyler Smith over at Bills Breakdown challenged us, said they wanted revenge for the AFC Championship game, and I said, not on my watch. The Chiefs Kingdom will rise up, folks. We're a little bit behind, but there's still a long ways to go in this sub-battle for the month of May. For the latest happenings on your Kansas City Chiefs with our daily news and rumors, live shows along with breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more. You got to be subscribed to the channel, youtube.com/ChiefsTV to subscribe now for free, and we'll get started with today's show. Feliz Cinco de Mayo. Welcome into this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Tyler Jones here with you. Hopefully you're sipping on a nice margarita and enjoying this very fine Monday on Cinco de Mayo. Over the weekend was rookie minicamp for your Kansas City Chiefs. Our first chance to see the 2025 rookie class, from the players that were drafted to the undrafted free agents as well. And there was some standouts. We'll go over the winners and the losers coming up in just a moment. Let's start at the running back position with the last player the Chiefs selected. I think it's biblical. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Brashard Smith, running back out of SMU. I'm so excited about this guy, and we've seen several comparisons that have been made to Isaiah Pacheco, with both being seventh-round picks, with their pass-catching skills. But what we saw this weekend was Brashard Smith kind of differentiate himself from Isaiah Pacheco with his unique skill set that he brings to this offense that's different than the likes of Pacheco or Hunt and others. He was involved in team drills, but he was also involved in punt return skills. And before I show you what Andy said about Brashard Smith here in just a moment, I think this is an important detail when we talk about this, is if you recall back in the pre-draft process, Chiefs GM Brett Veach had made it known that when they drafted a running back, they were looking for somebody with special team skills specifically, on top of the things they were looking for at the running back position. And Brashard Smith had kick return experience at SMU. Former receiver converted to the running back spot. But to see him involved in punt return skills, that tells me the Chiefs are getting exactly what they were looking for, folks, and he impressed this weekend. Andy Reid said this on Brashard Smith. Some of the backs have a low center of gravity. They can kind of move where they can drop their weight a little bit. It looks like he has that. Now, nobody has hit him, so it will be a little different story there, and it looks like he has good hands. Brashard Smith had this to say about the skill set he's bringing to the Chiefs. I'm going to show who I am. There are not a lot of running backs that have receiving skills and running back skills, so I feel like just coming in and I can contribute for sure with my skill set. Being in different systems, being in different offenses, that helped me out. I expect to come in and just learn. And there was terrific value on Brashard Smith as well. If you recall, he was graded somewhere between the 4th and 5th round. So for Kansas City to get him in round 7, they did pretty good, if I'd say so myself. A good weekend for Brashard Smith. How about Josh Simmons, the offensive lineman out of Ohio State, the Chiefs' first-round pick? And we got an update on the injury situation on him, and we didn't really know what to expect going into this weekend with the limitations he could potentially have. If you recall, Andy Reid said after they drafted him that they had no concerns on the injury front, that they felt like he was going to be ready in time for training camp, and he already got involved in the Chiefs minicamp here this weekend, and he's on the right track on a full road to recovery with getting back to the football field. So that's all a positive sign. Andy Reid saying this on Simmons. Josh is doing mostly the individual work. We try to keep him out of the team stuff if we're going against the defense. So just taking it slow here. We're just kind of getting a feel where he's at with this. He's had kind of a heavy traffic schedule during the 30 visit thing, so we want to make sure he's strong and going, but he looks like he's got some talent there. Looks like he's moving around good. He's right on to where he needs a little bit more time, but he's moving around well. I'm surprised how well he was doing out there moving, and he looks like he's comfortable with it. That's a great sign. Andy Reid saying that he looks like he's progressing nicely and that he's moving around well. And if Andy Reid is surprised and nothing catches this guy off guard, then you're really doing something right. So let's ask you our pinned comment today. Should Josh Simmons start week 1 for the Kansas City Chiefs? What do you think about the idea of him starting at guard or tackle, or should he start as a backup first and then eventually make his way into the starting lineup? What do you guys think? It's our pinned comment today. Type Y for yes, in for no. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in and let us know. This player might be the most exciting Chiefs rookie, arguably the most talked about in this class among the Chiefs kingdom. That is a wide receiver, Jalen Royals, out of Utah State. And Royals, when he was talking to the media, he said that going into Chiefs training camp and taking it all in, he was anxious but also happy to get involved in the process. And The Athletic, they did some reporting on what exactly he did, and here's more of what they wrote from over the weekend. With Reid watching, Andy Reid, the 4th-round draft pick, showcased his quickness and strong hands in position drills. Besides a miss or two over his head, Royals looked mostly reliable. He took the first pass of team drills from veteran QB Chris O and lined up opposite fellow draft pick Noel Williams for a few plays. Royals had this to say on Rookie Minicamp, just taking it one step at a time, taking it day by day. I know it's the first day, but just trying to come in and work and take it step by step. I love hearing the word reliable. And why I like that word in particular here. When I look at the Chiefs receiving core in recent years, I haven't been able to use that word a ton about these receivers. Didn't get to say that about D-Hop, Juju. Definitely didn't get to say about Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, Rashee Rice, reliable, till he wasn't, till he got hurt. Xavier Worthy became reliable in the second half of the season, but it took him a while to get going there. So just the fact we're already using that word with Jalen Royals, it's a big word, all right? It's got a lot of letters, R-E-L-I-A-B-L-E. It's a big word. I'm glad to hear that with Jalen Royals. That, to me, that's a good step forward for him to show off there in a rookie minicamp on that front. Another one for you on the winners list is Omar Norman Lot at the defensive tackle position. And with Norman-Lott, it's pretty interesting because he comes over from Tennessee, where he was not a full-time starter at Tennessee. And there are people that are doubting him because he wasn't that full-time guy. And Norman-Lott, despite being a second-round pick, and everyone's happy he's here. I think for the most part, people were pretty pleased with the selection of Omar Norman Lot. I haven't heard a ton of complaints from people within the Chiefs kingdom or outside the organization. The consensus seems to be it's a good pick, and everybody's happy to have him here. But with that said, Norman Lot comes into Kansas City, and he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's playing with an edge a little bit. He himself said he's looking to prove the naysayers wrong. Let a naysayer know. More from Omar Norman Lot. It's quite literally my job. I'm very excited to go do it and prove all the naysayers wrong. But I'm not the kind of guy that listens to all the outside chatter. Sounds like you do. I just focus on what I have at hand, stay where my feet are at, and play hard. Andy Reid was also complimentary of the defensive linemen, not only or Norman-Lott, but also talking about Ashton Gelati as well. He said this, the defensive linemen look like they have high motors and they have good quickness. It looks like good lower body and core strength, which is very important for getting banged around in there. Now, let's see a lethal defensive line. All right, you got Chris Jones, CEO of Sack Nation there. We know about George Karlaftis, and I think Karlaftis is going to take another step up. But whether it's Norman-Lott, whether it's Gelati, or if it's King Felix, Charles Omenihu, these guys here, let's see this team be lethal. Any of y'all seen that movie, Lethal Weapon? I want this defensive line to be a bunch of lethal weapons in 2025. And I think that if we're sitting here, and the Chiefs are in a good position, of course, but if we're sitting here and we're trying to point to, okay, what is one thing that we want to see as a goal for this team take a big step up in 2025? The defensive line wasn't bad last year. Don't get me wrong. But I think we have every reason to have an expectation with who's been brought in of this being a lethal group. I think that's going to be a theme that we're going to have on this show going forward from here. We want the lethal weapons on the defensive line. And I think that Norman-Lott is a good step in that process. And playing with an edge, I'm all here for it. Who's the winner for you from Chiefs Rookie Minicamp? If you had to name one player, who would it be and why? Maybe it's somebody we've talked about, somebody we haven't talked about. There was a lot of rookies out there, folks. Hell, Mahomes' half-brother was out there. I didn't even know he had a half-brother. Name a winner from Chiefs Rookie Minicamp. Weigh in and let us know. Chiefs rookie jerseys are on sale now, whether it's Josh Simmons or somebody else you are looking for. We have them available at chatsports.com/Chiefs jerseys. And I believe he has his number now, so you will get the jersey with the proper number added, all right? And maybe you don't want a rookie jersey, and that's fine too. You can still get your Mahomes and Kelsey jerseys and all that, all at that same link, chatsports.com/Chiefs jerseys. The case I would make to you folks of why you should get a jersey now for a guy like Josh Simmons is you get it at the very start of their career and their tenure, and you get the most out of it that way. So go ahead to the link, and it's in the comments and description of today's video, chatsports.com/Chiefs jerseys. Get yours today. Check it out and get yours now while supplies last. Last on the list, and I could have gone with a number of these. It's hard to find guys that had a bad minicamp, to be honest. But we'll go with Jeffery Bassa at the linebacker position. And one of the things I really like from hearing Bassa talk over the weekend when speaking to the media was about his preparation and the process. It's a process, right? And getting adapted to Spags' defense. And before he even arrived at rookie minicamp, Jeffery Bassa was all in, all invested in getting to learn the defense, the playbook, the ins and outs, and came in ready to go right from the jump to rookie minicamp. He had this to say, everyone knows that Coach Spags' defense is really complex. But, I mean, coming in, to rookie minicamp, you obviously want to get a head start on that, right? So I feel like the opportunity to come out here for rookie minicamp, learn the defense, kind of go through the first couple of installs has been really good for me. Overall, I feel like I'm catching on pretty well. Honestly, right now, I feel like I'm at a good stage where I can keep going back and looking at the notes and looking at the film and saying, okay, I was supposed to do this instead of this, right? So just catching it slowly, day by day. Now, the talk about him going into the draft was his high football IQ. And the fact that he's putting in the work to learn the defense, he is watching film. I can't say that about everybody. Not everybody likes to watch film. But Jeffery Bassa, it's a whole different story here. To me, that's a guy that is wise beyond his years. He's not talking like a rookie. And to me, that's a winner in my eyes. I think that's big for him. I like to see that from him here in rookie minicamp. Who is your favorite Chiefs rookie this year? If you had to give me one name that you like from this group, who would it be? Weigh in, let us know in the comments section below. Before we go, the losers from rookie minicamp. I'm actually not going to name a rookie among the losers because, as mentioned, it's all pretty positive out of rookie minicamp. But there were two players that got the pink slips this past weekend. Defensive end B.J. Thompson was waived, while linebacker Blake Lynch was also released on Saturday. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the road for these two guys. They are both players that have been in and out before, so we very well be talking about these guys getting back in competition, competing for one of those 90-man roster spots at some point. But at least for now, they're without employment for the time being. So they make the losers list with those roster cuts there. For continuing coverage on your Kansas City Chiefs throughout the entire offseason, subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.